I don't think it is finance taking precedence. It is about, how do we, work with everyone else and, make the most of this. It may sound a little counterintuitive, but I guess uh, we are fortunate in two senses. One, from an industry perspective, I think, we have relatively been less affected, especially given, the sectoral exposure that my company has, and hence we haven't seen the impact as much as probably many of the others have, probably Sridhar and Mr. Subramaniam and Shivaji. Uh, I think, and personally, if you ask me, I joined and in a week the lockdown happened. So, I have literally not met anybody in the company in person. Most of my interactions has been virtual. And despite that, we had two board meetings, we had an AGM. Every day we have client conversations, and it's been very seamless. Part of it is also because of the fact that as an industry, for us, geography has been history, and while I was in the startup world for 7, 8 years, but prior to that, for 11 years, even in 2009, 10, where you are doesn't, never made any difference, because, the work would happen irrespective, and any which way people are all distributed. Um, I think one of the key things I felt which helped a lot was, I have seen the 2008 crisis. I was, managing a CFO role at Wipro at that time. And, key learning from then was it is not a plan now, it is scenario planning. So, you basically work with business leaders and you say, if this happens, then we will do this. So what it does is, it does not create a panic when something happens. You are prepared for eventualities, and, the whole organization knows that, what has to happen if something happens. It's almost like a multiple plans versus one single plan. uh, the second thing that happened is, a lot of our clients, and including the organization, for a lot of people, it was about, okay, let's give another 15 days, another month, and we will get back to normal. It is important that we, it sinks in that it is never going to be what it was before COVID. Even if, we were to find a vaccine, and even if COVID was behind us, I think what we will see of business, the model, the operating style, etc., is going to be different. And all our clients, once we were convinced, we were able to get to the clients and say that don't wait for transformation to happen, because the longer you wait, someone else is going to get competitive advantage. And that dovetails into what I wanted to say next, is that one of the mantras we followed is, we will sell our way through the crisis. So it's very easy, and especially from the finance perspective, if we were to start pushing conversation about cost, about headcount reduction, about things not going well, the reality of the matter is that if there's no revenue, there is no profit, right? So how do we make sure that we actually had a tracker to say that in a 12-hour day, if we are having conversations, how much of time is being spent on cost, and how much of it is in ideating new things, how much of it is in working with the clients, how much it is about creating an opportunity. And we made sure consciously that it was not more than 25%. Cost is important. We were wanting to take calls, we were wanting to reduce expenses. Some of the expense reductions happened automatically, I guess Ramesh pointed it out. And but a lot of it, I think, on one side there was an acceptance of the fact that we can't spend that much, so it made it easier. And on the other hand, we basically said that don't talk about cost beyond a certain amount of time. So effectively the idea was to make sure that the focus is on positivity. The focus was on being close to the employees. We are being a services organization, employees is the biggest asset, and it is the biggest value driver. So how do we stay with the employees? How do we give them we moved work from home in a day's time 95%, and the balance 5% happened in the a couple of weeks time. It was an adjustment. Unlike in the Western world, homes in India are not prepared for working from home. So how do we work with the employees? How do we make that possible movement of capex investments and stuff like that? Because at the same time we need to deliver to the clients as well. So I think the key learning or the key positive attitude was the primary driver for us to come out of this whole thing on top, or at least stay in top, as we go through this crisis. It has reflected in how much wins we had. It has reflected in the quality of delivery that we have been able to do. And I think some of the tough decisions, and this is maybe a little specific to the finance function, there are a few things that you would not do if you are in a normal quarter. Means we are all under the pressure of quarterly earnings. We have a guidance to give. We have a growth to deliver, and there are decisions that you don't take, that you keep postponing. This is the best time. Everybody is ready. Investors in the market. You can take all the tough decisions because just clean up everything and be done with it.